Welcome everyone, it's Boris. I'm back again. I got another video for you guys, and it's titled, Why is Young Men Running to Trump? At the CNN panel over here, you got my man Montel. I ain't see him in a minute. But right now the Democrats is trying to figure out why did they lose. They got so many reasons why they lose, but I guess they choose to check this one out because 50%, about 50%, give or take, Hispanic men voted for Trump. 50% white men voted for Trump. A whole lot of Arab men voted for Trump. A whole lot of Asians, a whole bunch of, like, damn near 50% of they men voted for Trump. But now they still kind of wondering why even the young men voted for Trump. Because most of the young men, they pandering to, let me use that word, pandering to, is young men that goes to college. And most people know, I don't know if everybody know this, but most college campuses are liberal to the max. But let's get into this topic with Montel and them.
However, messaging has just gotten out of control from both sides.
No,
you take a look at the fact that
only the left.
across the
only
board,
the left.
didn't matter what race they are, males turned towards Donald Trump, turned away from the Democratic Party. And why? That's the real question that should be asked. Why? Because in so many ways, the party basically dismissed him, left him out of the conversation, and not until the very end decided, oh, I better reach out and see if these guys are worth talking to. Yeah. And if you just look at the fact that we have, nobody, I think, in this country right now, the majority of people, believe in an equal playing field where everybody gets to participate and play. But when you start shoving certain things down people's throats that they don't want to have to eat, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of forcing somebody to do something that they didn't want to do.
Well, there's the message.
What? You heard Montel? Let me give him a round of applause for that right there. He hit the nail right on the head. It's like, that was refreshing. You heard what he said? I think he voted for Trump on the low because he's still kind of mad with Kamala. Because, I don't know. I don't know if you guys know that him and Kamala used to date. So maybe he did a revenge voting. He went in there and he looked around and he voted for Trump on the low. Maybe. Because guess what? It's like something he actually thought about and he came correct. It got people who, listen, it got people who are still mad that they had to take the jab. Yep, we got people who are salty about that. You made me do something I didn't want to do. And if I chose not to do it, you're going to mess up my money. Have people who salty about that. Everything you say, all right, as a man. When, I like to put my chest out when I say that, like, as a man, you know what I'm saying? If you want to watch your son or anybody, you could be a cool uncle or whatever, you could just be like, yo, man up. You could end up on the internet and become toxic. You never know. Some people, I always wonder how some of these things get on the internet, because to tell you the truth, like, people are sitting there with their camera on, they'll be like, oh, he gonna fall. You know what I'm saying? But it always ends up on the internet and it makes you look bad. You get an employer on your neck and all this negative publicity, and then you could lose your money. So now, as men, we can't say certain things that we disagree about because we label one of the folks, right? You got a lot of folks out there. This folk, that folk. We ain't even gonna touch that, right? I got my day job, so I know certain things I don't say I ain't gonna talk about. But you see where we at, right? That you can't disagree about certain things. And if you tell them, listen, we don't want this, we don't like this, we don't appreciate this, they're ready to cancel you. Make it hard for you to make money, take care of your family. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. For the past 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, that's what it was. And people is tired of it. Right? The man is saying, listen, man, all this Me Too stuff and this and that is stifling. Like it's just holding you by the neck. You can't just be. You can't stand strong because tell you the truth, you're gonna stand alone because not much dudes want that smoke. So guess what they did? Right? They stayed quiet and they're like, oh, we gonna show you. And what they went? They went into the polls. And they looked around and they voted Trump. That's what they get for doing that to guys. Let me pull it back a little bit. Let him say that again. Let him say that again. Go,
We have
Montel.
nobody, I think, in this country right now, the majority of people, believe in an equal playing field where everybody gets to participate and play. But when you start shoving certain things down people's throats that they don't want to have to eat, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of forcing somebody to do something that they didn't want to do.
Well, there's the messaging toward men that Trump.
Listen, man, we can't put too much on that right there because he knows what he's saying and it's true, right? They got other things too, right? Trump loves sports. He's very competitive. Young men look at him like he's the epitome of success. They want to get to the level that he's at because I'm gonna tell you this, right? This is my perspective, right? He have what you call screw you money. He don't have to get on board with your status quo, right? He gonna say what he want, say how he feel, and whatever. Once he don't do you nothing and you can't sue him and take his money, he gonna do what he gotta do. And that's the problem why even legacy Republicans don't like him. So now when they look at him, they look at him as he's against the system. These young boys see him and they're like, yeah, he want to stick it to the man. They don't see him as the man or part of the system. They see him as somebody different. I watch a lot of YouTube videos and different things, and that's the sentiment you get from them, from most of the younger guys, right? They love the fact that he stands up. He stands up on all 10. He says what he says, and he don't apologize. I'm with him. What you see is what you get, right? And that's what they believe, and that's what they love. He's that cool uncle, that cool grandpa who just say whatever he wants, do whatever he wants. Now, as a president, you gotta watch, how you say certain things, and that's what been getting him in trouble. But that's what they love. I don't know if you guys saw recently, this guy went to the UFC match, the final. All these little things. He's a trash talker, right? Some people be like, oh, he's mean. No. If you see these things in long form, he said something derogatory to this black woman reporter. If you saw what this lady said to the man, the way she said it to him, me and you regular street people, it's a fight. He just said something slick and they don't like it. But the kids, they say, yeah, get him, man. That's how they think. And that's what people on the Hill don't understand. That's what the Democrats didn't understand. When you come out here and you want to appeal to men, you have to listen to them. That's the only way you could appeal to men if you listen. How you could give me what I want if you don't listen to what I want? You can't tell me what I want. Now I got another one here. Another guy making a good point. He got little graphs and stuff. I like when they got graphs and stuff. I like them type of stuff. So I don't know this guy's name, but he made some good points right here, and he got his graphs and stuff. Let's get into this one.
Did an election that was supposed to revolve around women's issues actually come down to the plight of men, young men? The 2024 race long ago turned into the boys versus girls election, with polls showing Harris performing significantly better among women and Trump among men. But the question was, how big will the gender gap actually be? Well, we all know now it was big enough to hand Donald Trump the presidency.
Yep.
More than half of the male vote nationwide, 55% went to Trump, 42% to Harris. Men under 30 saw a dramatic shift from supporting Democrats in 2020 by a 15 percentage point margin to swinging back to the GOP by 13 points. A CNN exit poll also found men under 30 in Pennsylvania favored Trump by 21 points. In 2020, Biden won that same group by 9 points. A part of
Now, you see these numbers? For Trump, you know how bad Biden had to screw up from the type of win he had in 2020 for Trump to make these numbers? But yet, on the black side, 90-some% women vote for Kamala. I think it's 90-some% men, and then 8% voted for Trump. So much. So now, did they vote because she was black? Did they vote for her because of identity politics? Why did they vote for her? Because, listen, I don't believe that last Hail Mary she threw at the end talking about, oh, these are, I want to give you some weed, I want to give you some loans, I want to give you, right? And she said black men and others, right? I don't think that gave her the boost and everybody like, ooh, you know what? I'm going to leave the middle and go left. It wasn't like that. They were already voting for her regardless, right? So what she technically did was tell the other men, whites, Hispanics, and others, we don't care about you. We only care about the black folks. It backfired.
President-elect Donald
Let me pull it back some.
swinging back to the GOP by 13 points. A CNN exit poll also found men under 30 in Pennsylvania favored Trump by 21 points. In 2020, Biden won that same group by 9 points. A part of President-elect Donald Trump's campaign strategy involved using hyper-masculine voices like Hulk Hogan and Kid Rock, UFC CEO Dana White. Democrats may have miscalculated the strength and importance in appealing to men. On their party's website, under the headline, Who We Serve, Democrats showed a diverse list of minority groups, including LGBTQ+, Americans with disabilities, Pacific Islanders, Native Americans, women, many other communities. No mention of men. You might...
And these people wonder why they lost. They are nuts. So, these people have a website with everything, who they serve. And they put women. Look, there's women there. So even like, you going through 1, 2, 3, 4, black, you think white, gray, blue, woman, you think men. It does certain things go together. Once you put women on that list, you automatically should have think men. I didn't even know this existed because I didn't even go on them websites, right? I didn't even know these things existed. But the thing is, you see the point I'm making, right? They giving you and they wondering why they lost. So now if Trump did like how he did with that commercial, how they say, they serve they them, we serve you. That commercial, he took that commercial that they made and reverse Uno it on them. See what I'm saying? And they wonder why they losing the men. Well, let's say everybody else but the black men, right? They wondering why they losing everybody else but the black men. Because it's clear the black men voted for her because she black. It's clearly they voted for her because, oh, we don't like Trump. Right? So, they now they understand why they lose. They lose the young men and the men. And it doesn't help that Trump is one of them type of guys who just got that swagger. He's quote unquote cool with all his dances and all these good stuff. He says what he gotta say. He don't apologize. And damn near 80%, 8 out of 10 things he say is actually true. Some things is just like, man, why are you gonna say that? And they let it slide and they love him. That's the Democrats' fault. right? They could sit here on all these round tables. You know what I'm saying? My man Montel made a great, great, great point, right? But at the end of the day, the Democrats gotta sit back and think to themselves, are we doing what's right? Are we doing something that makes sense? Because it makes no sense to everybody else that actually paying attention and critically thinking. Yep. If you take your time and you listen to what they're saying, you read between the lines, it's like, okay, so what about me? That's what the guy's saying. So what about me? Anyway, I don't want to go too much with this. I don't want to keep the video too long. But you see what's going on here. They pooped the bed. It's their fault. Nobody else's fault. Trump did what he does, and they didn't do what they supposed to do. So tough luck, I guess. Better luck in 4 years. Hey, guys, here's another video here. We done with this one. Maybe I might do another one soon. But as I always say, I love you guys. Stay critically thinking. And I'll see you at the next time for the other video. Love y'all.